Braun Breaker is the next big thing. Braun Breaker is the big dog. And this, well, this is Braun Breaker's yard.
OTC is back! Superman punch! Spear! And he's dead!
In the aftermath of NBC's Saturday night's main event for WWE, a lot of things looked uncertain. The biggest uncertainty of all was the immediate future of Seth freaking Rollins, who suffered what seemed to be a knee injury in a match with LA Knight. He has a documented history of knee issues. He's WWE's top villain at the moment and holds the cash-in anywhere, anytime world title shot in the Money in the Bank briefcase. He's a featured talent on Raw, which recently made the leap over to Netflix, but now his future is uncertain. With no actual word on the severity of his injury or any public MRI results, everything seemed to be up in the air. But one thing is for certain. One thing is on course to change WWE once more. The return of the OTC himself, Roman Reigns. We hadn't seen Reigns since the Raw after WrestleMania, where he was screwed out of the title in that big triple threat match. That Raw after WrestleMania would see Braun Breaker join Seth Rollins and his alliance that took out the OTC and CM Punk. Now Reigns is back, apparently, for revenge. Acknowledge us and hit the like button. Hit the comments with your take on what Roman Reigns is doing to WWE for the rest of 2025 and beyond. I'm Kevin Kellum. This is Sportskeeda Wrestling. It wasn't exactly surprising when the OTC returned. He targeted Paul Heyman's group. Yes, the same Paul Heyman that screwed him and betrayed him. The Paul Heyman that was his wise man at one point. Oh, yes. What went unnoticed because it happened after the cameras went off the air was a subtle interaction between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Punk vaguely gestured to Reigns with his fingers, implying that they're going to cross paths once again. That might just happen, and we could see these two rivals fight, but this time on the same side. Punk, meanwhile, ascends to the world title opportunity at SummerSlam to challenge Gunther. Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes will take on John Cena for the other world title. That keeps Roman Reigns far away from the world title scene. So how is Roman Reigns' return going to shake up the immediate future of WWE? Before we get into really how this all rolls out, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the limited part-time schedule of Roman Reigns. It's a bit of a difficult one to predict here as to how loosely he'll be used heading into these upcoming events. For one, he's been officially announced and casted in the blockbuster video game movie adaptation of Street Fighter as Akuma. Cody Rhodes, another WWE name, has also been casted in the same movie as Guile, so it doesn't necessarily guarantee that he is or isn't winning the WWE Championship. But there's a severe difference between Cody and Roman Reigns. It's the schedule. We know Cody is going to come back full-time, while Roman Reigns, we know, will only be back occasionally. The part-time schedule means he could disappear immediately after SummerSlam, so throw those ones up while you can because don't expect him to be around much longer. But let's, for the sake of this video, assume that he's going to be around a little bit longer. What happens then? The direction for SummerSlam could be fairly straightforward and clear, teaming him up with maybe a longtime rival in Jey Uso to take on Rollins and Heyman's goon squad of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That's a possibility. With CM Punk facing Gunther, that could be one of the two headlining world title matches for a two-night SummerSlam that has already been advertising Cody Rhodes taking on John Cena for the WWE Championship. Rollins versus Reigns would have been a great special matchup for this year's SummerSlam. Maybe an ante-upping situation, a stipulation added to play up their long-standing despise for one another that goes back many years. It would have been, or it could still be. Yeah, about that Rollins injury. What if, and this is a bit of a stretch, what if the Rollins injury turned out to be exaggerated or a ploy of some kind? There has been mixed reports about whether or not Rollins was supposed to be feigning an injury of some kind in an elaborate angle to make his eventual Money in the Bank cash-in even more devious and shocking. Post Wrestling's John Pollock reported that he was aware of a similar storyline playing out in some way prior to Saturday night's main event, yet it appears the injury is serious in reality enough that Rollins has been seen on crutches soon after Saturday night's main event. It could be legitimate, it could be something that keeps him out of the ring for months and months and months, and there's a little wiggle room for doubt here. We have a theory why. When Liv Morgan got injured, it was quite obvious that it was legitimate, and the announcement of her surgery was formal and straightforward. With Seth Rollins, things seem to be a little bit intentionally vague. Maybe they're playing it by ear. Yeah, we aren't necessarily doubting the legitimacy of this injury, but we're doubting how vague WWE has kept things. It certainly is keeping us interested to find out why they're being vague. Triple H, the head of WWE Creative, just said it was looking bad, and there were rumors that the finish of the match at Saturday night's main event with LA Knight was supposed to see Seth Rollins win, and that LA Knight's winning was all on the fly and in the moment. But as of this recording, there have been a total of 0 reports giving any actual details about the severity of his knee injury. It gives us room to believe that there might be a chance that Seth Rollins' injury may not be as bad as it's being led to be. Benefits WWE for fans to think he's badly injured or could possibly make some type of surprise appearance or performance at SummerSlam in some form. Could he show up? What could he do? Could he still come out and cash in? CM Punk winning the world title from Gunther in a war over the championship, only to be cashed in by his dreaded rival in Seth Rollins. That would cause a riot. Remember, we still haven't seen CM Punk versus Seth Rollins 3. Yeah, they haven't settled that score yet. So how does Roman Reigns figure into all of this? Simple. He and CM Punk find themselves on the same side, fighting the same opposing force, fighting the same cause for the first time. Yes, they are united in their hatred of Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, and it sets up a story after SummerSlam that can set the tone for another hot period for WWE. Maybe this is all a setup for something a little bit further down the line than SummerSlam. Survivor Series War Games in November in San Diego. Yeah, that's pretty down the line, but logistically, with the whole opposing side element and multiple players, it could make more sense if it gets fleshed out over the next few months. To have Roman Reigns and CM Punk on the same side would be incredible because we can see them go against Seth Rollins and his aligned force and tease a future match between Reigns and Punk throughout all of it. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk has technically happened before, but it was when Punk was having his feet out the door of WWE over 10 years ago, and Roman Reigns wasn't just Roman Reigns exactly yet. It's a different time now with different circumstances and different fan demands. It seems like they're inevitably going to be on a collision course for a major one-on-one match. Whether it's WrestleMania 42 or otherwise, the Roman Reigns-CM Punk alliance must have the objective of setting up a match between the two of them in the very, very near foreseeable future. How near? We're not exactly clear, but it's gonna happen. Or at least it needs to. From this story alone, we could get the possible Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker match, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. Somewhere down the line, yeah, that final Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins match. We aren't sure if it's time to pull the trigger on that last one just yet, but as we mentioned, this injury really makes things unclear, but also intriguing. What if is one thing that keeps popping up. Also, we gotta be logistical and gravitate to that part-time schedule. That means we're not gonna get many singles matches out of Roman Reigns for the rest of 2025. But still, the potential matches we could see are exciting. We aren't going to get a lot of the OTC or the OTC1 or whatever the new important moniker is, but it's important still, if you're a fan of wrestling, casual or die-hard, to cherish this important character while he's still around. His current contract reportedly expires around WrestleMania 42 next year, and there's no certainty on what his future could be beyond that. Knowing how much TKO and WWE loves maybe reducing or having a sharp budget that's high on profit could mean a different Roman Reigns in the future as well, if we get to see him. We only have a few more years of Roman Reigns in general at the most, so just now is the time to enjoy what he has and the impact he can make for other talents along the way. The rest of 2025 is hopefully going to pick up in a big way now that Roman is back. Let us know what you think of Roman Reigns' return and what you want to see him do. Really dig into the comments and let us know. Subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling if you haven't done so and help get us to 200,000 subscribers.